Okay, we are recording. Hey everybody, thanks for jumping on with us today. I am Lauren Lovelace and I am here with my amazing teammate and really good friend, Jackie.
Hey everybody, thanks for jumping in and joining us today. I'm really excited to bring this content to you because I think it's something that will boost everyone's confidence and experience with Plexus.
Yes, and this is a big topic, and I know we have been sharing these products for a couple years now, and we have had so many people that have had life-changing results, and it is the best feeling in the world to be able to help people in both their health and their finances. But there's one little topic that sometimes gets people a little bit freaked out or a little bit scared, and there's no reason for it. But we want to tackle it today because I feel like so much of it is what expectations we set on ourselves, what expectations we set for our ambassadors, our customers, and that is detox, right? We've all heard that term, detox. If you're new around here, you may have heard some rumblings of it, but it's not a bad thing. So I'm super excited for us to just go through this topic today and really give you some very actionable steps to help people through detox. So one of the biggest things is when someone is going through detox, we need to set expectations for ourselves and what we need to follow through with and how we can help them. But really, those expectations come way back in the beginning when we start telling them about Plexus, when we start sharing Plexus with them, when we share that triplex video, when we ask them about what their health goals or concerns are, and we start telling them about these amazing products, that's actually when we start setting the expectations. This isn't a magic wand. This isn't a magic pill, right? So we have to do our part. Healthy eating, exercise, water intake, all of these things are so important. So it's really important that we mention those things, we talk about those things from the very get-go. And when that person decides to sign up and they say, yes, I'm ready to take charge of my health, I'm ready to do something, I'm ready to make a change, we have to be very clear that some things we are gonna notice right away, right? And other things are gonna take some time. And we really do need to let our body and the products the time they need to really do their trick, really do their magic, so to speak. But that takes time and consistency. And we need to be very clear about that when people are first signing up and when we're first getting them started. And we need to have real expectations. When we start asking them in the beginning, hey, what are your health goals or concerns? Or what are you struggling with? What healthy habits are you currently doing that are helping you move in the right direction? Because if we know that someone is not drinking water, is not currently exercising, is eating lots of junk food, we know that there's going to be a different expectation for someone who's already doing those things. So to just be aware of that, take mental note of where somebody's at, what healthy habits they are already doing, but also encouraging them to pick up a few that we know are going to help their Plexus journey in a big way, right? So we know that this is not a one size fits all. We know that every body is different. And so the products and the timing and the dosages that work for one person might be a little bit different for somebody else. So having realistic expectations and setting that up ahead of time is super important. But also having realistic expectations for ourselves as an ambassador and helping them. And just knowing that we can only do so much, right? We can lead them through this process, and we're gonna outline exactly what you need to do in this video so that way you can have real confidence in helping them. But at the end of the day, you and I both know we can only offer so much, right? We can offer the products, we can offer all the tips, but that person has to take a hold of it and take some responsibility and be an advocate for their own health. And so we're there to guide them, but it's not all on our shoulders. So we want to outline what is on our shoulders and what is something that we can help and how we can help them in a really effective way. But at the end of the day, we know that it's totally up to them in order to take charge.
Yes. So how do we find out if they're taking charge? How do we find out if things are going in the right direction? Excuse me, just one second. I have a thing on the top of my,
No.
Okay, so how do we find out, right? We do it in the follow-up. We want to know how they're doing. We've set expectations for ourselves about what follow-up looks like for working with a new ambassador. So right out of the gate, when they start their probiotics, when they start their triplex or whatever products they're on, we say, what do you think of the taste of the pink drink? We start to ask them about consistency. We ask them what they're loving. We set this positive expectation for them to be ready to share positive feedback, to be looking for the good stuff, right? We tell them to write down the things that they're noticing. But sometimes people come back with some negative feedback. And we know, because we've taken inventory about their healthy habits, that we can kind of expect or gauge what might come back from some people. And if you're someone who has detoxed, we're grateful for that, because you have that experience. You've muscled through it. You've climbed the mountain and gone down the other side, and so you're going to be eager and willing to support someone who does experience detox. But if you didn't, this may come as a little bit of a surprise for you. And we want to make sure you have the tools and the know-how to help them work through it. So when they don't have good experiences, or they say, gosh, I'm feeling a little more constipated, or I noticed a little headache. Well, this is a great moment for you to be like, your products are working. Yes. You know what? I'm going to connect us back in our 3-way message that we started right before everyone even got their products, right? We have this message going. I'm going to jump back in there, and we're just going to rally around you and help you just plow through these detox symptoms, right? This is no big deal. We're just going to make some adjustments and support you through it, right? So we have all kinds of resources. We're going to use that Team Allen page. We're going to tag them in those detox posts, remind them to drink their water, use the post that talks about timing. Some things take more time, right? So we're going to use all of those resources. And then we're also going to give them some examples too, like, so if they're experiencing constipation, we know that we're going to boost their water intake, and we're going to increase their bio-cleanse. We know that if they're starting to feel more sugar cravings and they aren't noticing a difference in their eating habits, that we're going to bump up their ProBio 5. If they talk about headaches or feeling nauseous, if they have Slim, we know that we have a lot of options. We can have them take it with food. We can have them split their Slim, take half a Slim. We have so many different ways we can modify, and we know that it works because we've had so many people, thousands of people, work through these symptoms. So we're just going to let everybody know that this is normal, and we're excited for them, and it's all good stuff to see their body move, and we're going to take those action steps.
Yes, and I think that's the biggest thing, is our posture and our confidence. When somebody comes back to us and says, okay, you said I was gonna feel really amazing, and I actually kind of feel a little bit icky. Like, what do I do now? Wait, this isn't working for me. And that's where we have to come back to them and say, no, I know it sounds super counterintuitive, but it's actually a really good thing. It actually means your products are working, but we might need to make some adjustments, like Jackie said, to our timing, our dosages, even maybe the products that they're currently taking, or maybe we just need to give it more time. And we know, because we've been on the other side of it, and we've seen so many people push through that detox, and they're so grateful on the other side, because they say, oh my gosh, I'm so glad. I feel really amazing now. But sometimes, obviously, especially if we didn't experience that ourselves, it can be a little bit scary. So addressing that person with posture and confidence. And if you don't have that, maybe you're a new ambassador, maybe you haven't walked hundreds of people through detox. That's why that 3-way message is so important, because you're going to borrow that belief and that confidence from us, and we're going to help guide them through that detox process. So when we say to somebody, no, this is actually a good thing, your products are working, they're like, okay, but I don't understand. And so that's our job. Like, I think of it like a trainer at the gym, right? We hire this trainer at the gym. We show up day in and day out, and we're like, I don't really see things happening yet, but I'm still coming. I'm still showing up, right? And that can be the same thing with our Plexus products. They're hiring us as their trainer, right, to help and guide them. and they're going to take their products, and some things they might not see right away. And just like a trainer at the gym could say, hey, you know what, we're going to need to up your cardio this week. We're going to need to add in some weights. We're going to need to make some adjustments. This is not a one size fits all program. You're a personal trainer, right? They're personally doing something just for you. So same thing with our Plexus products. Although we start pretty much everybody on Triplex, or we start them on the welcome pack that we think is going to be best for them, sometimes we have to make adjustments in that. And so allowing people to know that that's okay, that's part of the process, that's totally fine, and we're going to help and guide them through. So that is really important. But what is actually happening when we say to them, no, this is a good thing. This is actually means your products are working. What is actually happening? Why is somebody's body detoxing? And we use this analogy of a house, right? So if we painted a house a different color every year for 30 years, and then we say, you know what? I want to change that house back. I want to put that house back to the original color, the original factory settings. And now we're going to strip off all of that paint. Okay. That process is messy. Have y'all ever stripped paint before? It is messy, right? It is not this clean, neat, easy process and boom, all of a sudden you're back to that original paint color. It can be a little bit messy. And our bodies are like that, right? Our bodies are like an onion. There's layers to them. And sometimes, depending on the person, what's going on with them, their history, we all come from very different positions into this health journey. And so it's like an onion and there's layers. And sometimes our body needs to heal things or release things or pass toxins or those sorts of things before other things start to happen. And so it really is this layering process. And so while we'll, just like going to the gym, we can feel like nothing's happening. But by that Friday, we go, oh, something's starting to happen. Same thing with our Plexus products. Although we might not see that instant gratification right away, although some people do. Some people notice things right off the bat. For those people that aren't noticing things, good things are still happening, right? They're still, and their body just might need to be healing some things before some things that show up or some things that they can really feel are coming to fruition. And so just being confident in that and knowing that that is really what's happening, and we can confidently guide people through that. So I think that is a really important thing, is just to remember that, our bodies are releasing toxins. They're getting rid of toxins. And that's a really good thing, right? So when we start taking our Plexus products, sometimes we can stir up those toxins in our body. And that's why we can start to feel a little bit icky before we start to feel better. And so like Jackie said, we can do some things to help that detox along and move those toxins through our body a little bit quicker. And one of those big things, I think people think, well, maybe if I stop taking the products, I'll start to feel better, which is actually the worst thing they can do, right? You and I both know that the only way to get, to the other side of something is through it, right? That's in our life, that's in anything, right? We just have to push through to get to the other side. There's not really ever a real good way around it. We just end up avoiding. And that's what happens when we stop and start our products. And so consistency is so key. So like Jackie said, if we've got certain things, we can make adjustments to our products, but stopping and starting and messing with our consistency is only going to set us further back. So confidently going to them and boldly saying, listen, you're going to get through this. You're going to get to the other side of this, and we're going to help you through that. And they may have not pushed through a lot in their lives, right? Most people, when they're met with resistance in their life, they just turn and run the other way. And so this is an incredible opportunity for us to teach them, hey, you can do really hard things. There's really good things on the other side of what sometimes feels like a hard thing. And so you can push through and you can confidently say that, hey, listen, we've had so many people who have been in your position, and if they were able to push through, if they were willing to push through, if they were willing to listen and do the things that I'm encouraging you to do, I promise you they're so grateful on the other side of that. Jackie, do you want to add anything to that? Because I know that you've had some experience with this.
Yeah, I think that confidence piece, the posture piece is so incredible. And when we start pulling from our toolbox of resources to help people move through detox, we know they've got to get their body moving every day. And we've already asked them what their activity levels are, what their healthy eating habits are. So we're going to tap back into what we know about this person, what we know about their habits, and utilize that, like Lauren said, to encourage them, to be their trainer, to motivate them, to remind them of what they committed to, why they got started in the first place. So we're going to ask them to, take an Epsom salt bath, go to bed a little bit earlier, drink some lemon water, continually check in with us, because what we don't know, we can't help with. So that confidence piece is huge. Someone wants to be able to look to you and say, usually they're a little discouraged or confused. And so the more confidence you have, the better they're going to feel about moving forward with this process. So hitting the panic button and being concerned that you can't help them certainly isn't going to help you, and it's not going to help them. So we're really going to tap into all those resources and remind ourselves, like, we got this. We know how to work through this. But at the end of the day, it really is on them. And I know Lauren has a lot to share. She has experience with this, so I'm going to pass it back off to her. But just having that confidence and knowing you have the tools and the resources to help them.
Yes, absolutely. And that's one of the biggest things, is we just have to remember that we can offer, right? And we can tell them all the things to do, but it really is ultimately at the end of the day on them. They have to decide, am I going to push through? Am I willing to push through? And that's actually something we can just ask them. We can just flat out say, hey, are you willing to do the things? I know that X, Y, and Z was your goal, right? I know you wanted to lose weight. I know you wanted more energy. I know you wanted to help your skin. I know you wanted to, remind them of why they got started in the first place. Are you willing to do some things to push through in order to get to the other side? Because I can confidently tell you that if you do these things, you will get to the other side of this and you will feel amazing. But you also have to know that not everyone's going to be willing to do that. Unfortunately, that's just the world we live in, right? Not everyone is going to be willing. Maybe their timing's not right. Maybe that something's going on in their life. Who knows what their circumstances are, but just know that not everyone's going to be willing to do this. And so we can lay our heads on our pillows at night and feel confident that we've led them and guided them through these steps. We've given them every resource that they need in order to be successful. But at the end of the day, it is ultimately up to them to make these changes in their health. And so as much as we can guide them, as much as we can encourage them, at the end of the day, they have to take a hold of that and run with it in their own lives. And so I want you to have some freedom in knowing that you can boldly and confidently help someone through detox. But at the end of the day, sometimes people aren't going to push through. Sometimes people are going to quit. And sometimes the timing isn't going to be right for people. And so what do I do when that happens? I leave the door open, because I can't tell you how many times people have come back later and say, hey, I know I wasn't committed a year ago, but now I'm in a different place in my life and I think I can do this. I think I can push through that hard thing. And even if I do detox a little bit, I know it's worth it because what I feel right now is not that great. And so I just always leave the door open. I honestly, I put it back on them, saying, hey, listen, I know that maybe this is not the right time for you, or you're not willing to push through this. And I'm bummed about that. And it's okay to say that. I'm bummed about that. I really wish that you would, but when the timing is better, when you're in a different place, I'm here. I'll help you. I'm ready to help you whenever you're ready. And so I think that's really important, is just setting clear expectations for them right from the get-go, setting clear expectations for yourself, and knowing that this might be something that you come up against, and you're gonna be confident and bold in how you help someone through it. And I can't tell you how many people have come to me over the years and have said, thank you for pushing with me. Thank you for believing in me when I didn't believe in myself. Because what I feel now and what I know and love about Plexus now, if I hadn't pushed through that small, hiccup, that small bump in the road, I would never be in this place that I am now. So thank you for encouraging me to be consistent. Thank you for encouraging me to push through. Thank you, thank you, thank you for letting me know what Plexus can do for my body. So we just feel like knowing some of these things ahead of time, knowing these things as you're going through your journey, it doesn't matter what rank you are, you guys. It doesn't matter if you're diamond, if you're emerald, if you're ruby, or if you're brand new and you're sharing with your first friend. At some point in your Plexus journey, if you're deciding that you're going to be the rock that's going to be the ripple that's going to affect so many people in such a positive way, you're going to come up against detox. It's just the bottom line. And that's okay. And so if we can know that ahead of time and confidently know that it's not because you're new, it's not because you just got started sharing, it's not because these products don't work, it's just that everybody is different. And this isn't a one size fits all. And so if we're really gonna help and heal people's bodies, this is gonna come up every once in a while. But it's a good thing, and we can help people through it, and we can be confident in that. So we are so grateful for you guys for just jumping on with us today. We hope that this helped you in some way and that you can feel confident going forward. And if you don't, we don't always have the answers, right? That's why you have your friend that introduced you to these products. That's why you have your upline. Go to them, get in that three-way message, and they can guide you and walk you through every step of the way. And eventually you're gonna become more confident in helping and guiding people through this. So we love you guys. We're so grateful for you. And so the next time you follow up with somebody and they say, I'm loving my products, you can cheer and celebrate. And the next time somebody says, I might be experiencing a little detox, or I might not be feeling so great, or maybe I'm feeling a little bit icky, you can also celebrate, because you can be confident in knowing that you can guide and help them through. And once they get to the other side, they're gonna feel incredible. So thank you guys so much. We love you. We hope you have a good rest of your day. And we hope this was super helpful. Bye, guys.